Vinayaka Sarvesha Vinayaka Tyagati Ulaye Vinayaka Sarvamutta Vigneshwara Om Vinayaka Sarvesha
Spiritual bliss and boundless joy. We are extremely fortunate to be in revered Maharaja's holy company and are elated that revered Maharaj.
Various paths of Islam, Buddhism, and other various of Sri Ramakrishna. Life is an ideal for us, and his teachings are our guide in our spiritual life. His help and assistance is indispensable in our lives, and his grace is our only hope. Let us all celebrate with joy and merriment the birthday of our Lord and Master and be enjoyers of unalloyed peace. On this occasion, on this auspicious occasion, let us pray to Sri Ramakrishna for a righteous, that is dharmic life here and an eternal life of joy hereafter. By the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Sarada Devi and Swami Vivekananda, may we all have spiritual enlightenment and thus enjoy immortal life, infinite knowledge and unbounded peace. Jai Ram Krishna. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om. We offer our heartfelt gratitude to Most Revered Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj for always bestowing blessings on the devotees at Mother's Ashram. Revered Maharaja's nectar-like words fill us with strength and inspiration. Thank you, Revered Maharaj. Sri Ramakrishna always encouraged spiritual aspirants to develop childlike faith and the intense yearning that a child feels to see its mother. The youth and children of the ashram will now present a sketch dedicated to Sri Ramakrishna.
Om Matra Devo Bhava.
Look upon your mother as God.
Om Pitra Devo Bhava.
Look upon your father as God.
Om Acharya Devo Bhava.
Look upon your teacher as God.
Om Atiti Devo Bhava.
Look upon your guest as God.
Om Daritra Devo Bhava.
Look upon the poor as God.
Ma, are you true, Ma? Or is it all a fiction of the mind? If you do exist, why can't I see you? Is religion a mere fantasy and you just a figment of our imagination? I cannot bear this separation any longer. Please, reveal yourself to me. Please, Ma, please.
Oh dear,
Shame. How sad.
Shame. He must have lost his mother.
I could not bear the separation any longer. Life was not worth living. Suddenly, my glance fell on the sword that was near the mother. I was determined to end my life. I jumped up and grabbed the sword. In the twinkling of an eye, the Divine Mother revealed herself to me. The buildings, the temple, everything vanished from my sight. In whichever direction I looked, and as far as the eyes could see, I saw an ocean of light. I fell unconscious. When I awoke, I felt the presence of the Divine Mother. It was all bliss, the bliss of God. Everything had become the Divine Mother, even the cat. I felt the Mother breathe and heard her voice. She was living and not just a statue.
Sri Ramakrishna teaches us to respect the presiding deity in every place of worship. The deity is a living embodiment of the absolute Brahman or God. Our devotion in God increases when we have faith in the teachings of the saints. Sri Ramakrishna saw the living God in all of creation. He therefore instructed Swami Vivekananda and other disciples to remove the sufferings of humanity. The Ramakrishna Sarada Order in South Africa and throughout the world.
Who are we to show compassion? No, not compassion, but seva. God appears in the form of all beings. Jiva is Shiva, and Shiva is Jiva.
Once the master accompanied Mathur Babu to his estate. It was the time to collect tax. The sight of the starving and the rugged villagers deeply pained the master.
Mathur Babu, please settle their taxes. Give them a sumptuous feast and clothing.
Father, you do not know how much suffering there is in the world. Just settling the taxes will not help them.
You are merely Mother's instrument, and these are Mother's tenants. Let Mother's money be spent. They are suffering so much and you won't help them? You must.
Since Mathur Babu regarded Sri Ramakrishna as the incarnation of God, he acceded to the master's request. In January 1868, Mathur Babu, with a large party of about 125 people, set out on a pilgrimage. Sri Ramakrishna also accompanied them. When they arrived at the Yogar, Sri Ramakrishna saw that the villagers were reduced to mere skin and bone through poverty and starvation.
Ek paisa de de, ek paisa de de. O Babu, o jaane wale Babu. Ek paisa de de, ek paisa de de.
Mathur, who are these people?
These are the tribal people of the region. They have been suffering from a terrible famine.
I have never seen such misery before. Look here, Mathur. The Divine Mother has given you so much wealth. Give each person a piece of cloth, oil for the hair, and feed them well.
But Baba, we need much money for this pilgrimage. If I spend so much now, we shall not have enough to continue our journey.
Shame on you. I won't go to Benares then. I would rather stay here with these poor people and share their misery.
Mathur had no alternative but to abide by the master's request. Thus we see Sri Ramakrishna's compassion for human beings. Swami Vivekananda had a desire to spread the message of Master throughout India. As a wandering monk, he saw the poverty and distress of his countrymen. I do not believe in a religion or God which cannot wipe the widow's tears or bring a piece of bread to the orphan's mouth. The only God I believe in is my God the wicked, my God the miserable, my God the poor. So long as even a single dog in my country is without food, my whole religion will be to feed it and serve it.
Be kind and loving to each other. Do not say hurtful things. Take care of your family,
your community, your country, and the world. Remember, God is in each one of us.
My children, work to remove the sufferings of the world. The purpose of one's life is fulfilled only when one is able to bring joy to another. Pray every morning and evening. God listens to our prayers. Never forget that God loves you.
Jai Shri Ramakrishna Bhagavan ki
Jai!
Jai Shri Mahamaya ki
Jai!
Jai Shri Swamiji Maharaj ki
Jai!
After Bharat, Veena Ben will please sing. We are so happy that Veena Ben is here to join us. So after Bharat sings, Ben will sing, please.
Om, page 24. Om. Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Bhajaman Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Bhajaman Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Bhajaman Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Ramakrishna Jaya Radhe Krishna Jaya.
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 Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Bhajaman Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Bhajaman Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Bhajaman Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Raghukul Bhushan Ram 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 Madhava Govinda Sham Sham Sham.
Raghukul Bhushan Ram 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 Madhava Govinda Sham Sham Sham.
Raghukul Bhushan Ram 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 Madhava Govinda Sham Sham Sham.
Raghukul Bhushan Ram 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 Madhava Govinda Sham Sham Sham.
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Rama Krishna Jaya Bolo.
Bhajaman Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Rama Krishna Jaya Radhe Krishna Jaya.
Ramakrishna Jaya Radhe Krishna Jaya.
Rama Krishna Jaya Radhe Krishna Jaya.
Ramakrishna Jaya Radhe Krishna Jaya.
Rama Krishna Jaya Bolo.
Bhajaman Ramakrishna Jaya Bolo.
Raghukul Bhushan Ram 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 Madhava Govinda Sham Sham Sham.
Raghukul Bhushan Ram 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 Madhava Govinda Sham
माधव गोविंद श्याम श्याम श्याम
रघुकुल भूषण राम 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 माधव गोविंद श्याम श्याम श्याम
हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम
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 राम कृष्ण जय बोलो
भज मन राम कृष्ण जय बोलो ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय
Page 110, page 110.
हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
हे शारदे माँ,
शारदे माँ,
तू स्वर्ग
Namo Narayanaya. We thank the youth and children for their excellent enactment, which vividly illustrated the inspiring teachings of our Holy Trinity. We thank Dr. Veena Lakshman for her soul-stirring rendition of devotional songs. It fills our hearts with great joy to be in the holy company of Sri Swami Vimokshanandaji Maharaj, a senior monk of the Ramakrishna order. We are very happy that revered Maharaj is able to visit Mother's ashram after many years. We respectfully invite revered Maharaj to deliver the keynote address.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. हरिः ओम्. ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरामकृष्णाय. For a fraction of a moment, I was so overwhelmed when I entered these holy precincts of Sri Sarada Devi Ashram. It has thrown up before my mind many nostalgic experiences of being with the devotees, of sitting at this holy prayer hall, hearing melodious music, and be with the sister Ishtaprana Mataji. Today, I am so happy again to be with all of you. Of course, most of the faces I think I remember, and a few of them are new also. Today we are celebrating Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. Naturally, the topic will be on Sri Ramakrishna. But as you all know, you have experienced earlier, I start somewhere and they end up somewhere. So I don't know where it is going to take me today. By the Mother's grace, let us hope she keeps me in proper rails so that I can reach the destination. The glory of Sri Ramakrishna, as we think of, what is that? Where does his glory lies in? Is it in the fact that he was an avatar Purusha? Or does it lie in the fact that he came very close to the common man of his times? Or was it his extraordinary power to transfer spirituality to another person and to his disciples? There are many things I can go on. Where does his glory lies? I don't know exactly. Neither any of my predecessors who have thought about Sri Ramakrishna's contribution to the thought world have come to a specific or definite conclusion on this point. His glory is everywhere to see. His glory is not only with the intellectuals, His glory can be seen with the most ordinary common man. His glory is transcending time. I can understand during his lifetime, he was a very big saint. People used to rush to him. That is quite understandable for all of us because a person exudes wonderful spiritual fragrance, if I can say that, use that word, a fragrance to attract devotees who are bees. So when the flower opens up, Sri Ramakrishna says, bees come on its own. Likewise, when a saint opens up, what does opens up means? He reaches a state of godly consciousness. He lives in God and he becomes God. That is called opening up. If that happens, naturally the devotees' bees come gather in a large number. But once he renounces his body, he goes away physically out from this world. Slowly, his influence on the society wanes. Slowly, it comes down. For instance, the time, if very many of the saints' life, we see that the times they stayed, at that time huge people used to come. And after that, slowly, that number has been found decreasing. Not that influence has completely wiped out from this world, no, it will remain forever. But it goes down and down and down. So, in case of Sri Ramakrishna, I find something extraordinary. Contrary to this belief, which we all hold, but what I find is, after the passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, after his physical body was merged into the 5 elements, you find his influence, his lordship over the humanity has been increasing steadily. Why I say increasing steadily is because I have been touring around many countries in the world. Though I was posted abroad only in 3 places. South Africa was the first country that I came out of India. Next was Singapore, third was Ireland. But during staying in these 3 places, I have been visiting many countries. And I see that before my eyes, how his influence has been spreading in many of the countries that I visited. And he used to take a pride to meet those people who have been influenced by Sri Ramakrishna. Whether that person was an Irishman, or a person was a German, or he was a French, or he was any other nation, wherever I went. Even in Southeast Asia, where Buddhism holds a very strong hold, there also Sri Ramakrishna has been slowly entering into. I was addressing a conference of Buddhist monks in Bangkok. I looked around, so many monks were sitting. And the moment my lecture was over, one Buddhist monk, young monk, got up. He's doing PhD in that university where I went. He said, Swamiji, I am doing a research on the influence of Ramakrishna on Swami Vivekananda. Can you please give me some gist of that? That was the question answer session. So I gave 5-6 points to him. So you see, he is doing a PhD, a Buddhist monk, doing a PhD on Ramakrishna. It is nothing strange. In France, we have got a beautiful center at Gretz. When I went there, I could see people coming up, highly educated people. They come, and the problem was we could not converse freely because they were not speaking English. So I had to keep a translator in between. What the translator told me, I believed the whole thing. So we do not know what she told me. But it was a good thing to believe in good things, And I assumed good things. And then we talked. I could see their faith in Sri Ramakrishna. Not much of the intellectual dissection of the ideas of Sri Ramakrishna. I would not say that. But they were so much hankering for the love of Sri Ramakrishna, how to love him and how to get back his grace on them. That was their way of telling me. So I was very pleased. Even we Indians don't have that. The moment we listen about Sri Ramakrishna, we want to analyze. But the analysis part only takes you to a short distance. Which one takes you to a longer distance? It is the heart that takes you to a longer distance. I have written an incident in my blog. Of course, many of you were aware that I was running a blog. The last 3-4 years I have stopped writing anything on that because I didn't get much time. And now I am in Yelagiri Hills, you know that, as Avinash introduced to you. Yelagiri Hills is the top of the hills. Our ashram is situated. It's an absolutely beautiful place. Of all the places I visited, finally Sri Ramakrishna brought me to the top of the hills and kept me there, be here. Like that I felt when I entered that place. Such a beautiful place, beautiful weather, so conducive weather there. 2 months of summer I stayed there. I didn't feel that it was a summer season. In India, we have 6 seasons. Summer is one of them, running for 2 months. I didn't know that summer came and went. It was such a beautiful weather I was staying. Only nowadays, even my mind doesn't want to leave that place and go out. But Swami Swatma Ramananji came all the way to Yelagiri Hills. He sat in my room and he said, I am not getting up unless you agree to visit South Africa. So I had to accept. Otherwise, I would not have come now. Because I am enjoying that place so much. Beautiful shrine has come. And in that shrine, if I sit, I do not know how the time passes on. So a great time for delving deep into one's own heart. So that place is meant for so long, a retreat for monks only. Now I have added retreat for devotees also. Some of the devotees who have my WhatsApp number may have seen in my status. Of course, every day I put some pictures in my status. And more than 150 people watch that. And some days if I don't put anything, they even write to me, what happened to you? Why there are no photos today? So I thought, let me keep it as a point. Only yesterday's photos I didn't get. I have told Sanjeev to get me those photos of yesterday's program so that I can put there. So today's also, I hope somebody is taking photographs here. Somehow in South Africa, taking photographs is looked down upon. So I don't know whether anybody is taking photos. Now, you see, those places where you can better or keep yourself closer to Sri Ramakrishna. Not intellectually, emotionally, I am telling. When you are emotionally in line with Sri Ramakrishna's emotion, you are syncing, S-Y-N-C-H, syncing your mental vibrations to his vibrations. And that comes up on you and you become a magnet of attraction. How many devotees write to me, Swamiji, we would like to come there with specific purpose of retreat. Perhaps in the Ramakrishna tradition, this is the first time we have started in the Yelagiri. I am happy to tell you, the subject can be chosen by the devotees. So devotees come and ask me, we would like to know the 4 major prayers that are in the Devi Mahatmyam. We want to discuss those prayers only. I said, come, we shall discuss that. Some group said, we would like to know only about Swami Brahmananda Ji. Come, we shall discuss about Brahmananda Ji. So a specific topic can be chosen by the devotees and they can have 1 day or 3 days retreat there. And they can have to stay, of course, in a hotel because we don't have guest house. But the rest of the time, from morning 6 to night 8, you can stay in our ashram. You can have tea, snacks and meals, everything. And you don't need to pay a single rupee as donation fee. Everything free. In that atmosphere, I have seen every month one retreat for devotees as my target, and it is coming up and it is being done. So people are very happy. And once, by mouth their news goes up, everybody starts writing to me. Maharaj, we would like to come in the month of September, October, like that. Now it is booked up to September of this year. So you can understand, people do not merely want to discuss Sri Ramakrishna. What they want actually, they want to be nearer to Sri Ramakrishna emotionally. I told you about my blog because I have written this incident in my blog. If you have read it, okay. But those who have come, some new faces I am seeing, I thought I must tell that incident, which is very interesting from my point of view. I was touring Maharashtra, a place in a district, a state in India, the western India. There I went to Mumbai and other places and went to Pune. Pune is called cultural capital of Maharashtra. Everywhere, as you have here in South Africa, 3 capitals. Likewise, India also, in every state has got a capital, a state capital, political capital, a cultural capital, a language capital, like that you have different capitals are there. So in that place I went, very near to our ashram, there is a beautiful Shiva temple. It's called Bhima Shankar, Lord Shiva. This Bhima Shankar is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas that are present in India. I hope many of the devotees from South Africa also, most of them the Shaivites, pure Shaivites in South Africa, they go for the darshan of all the 12 Jyotirlingas at one go. So they take a route and then they go and have darshan of the 12. So one of the Shivlingas is this Bhima Shankar. So I wanted to go and have darshan of Bhima Shankar. I went there. When I went there, it was just drizzling as today. When I entered the campus, it was drizzling. I thought it is a good omen. That's what we believe. We Hindus have got some peculiar omens. We always have those things come into play in our mind when you have that. So when you go into and just come out, you get a drizzling, that means it's a wonderful occasion. So the weather now is cool, so it's nice to be here. And this Bhima Shankar, I was going through the road, small street like, both the sides there are shops are there, and I had 300 rupees in my pocket, and I was looking in the shops, lot of things for any pilgrimage place you will find Benares or Allahabad, and even South India if you go, Meenakshi temple, Chennai, Kapalishwar temple, etc. If you go, you can see both the sides of the road. There are hundreds of shops selling from A to Z. So I looked at that, then one shop was there. There are several shops of making puri, roti, etc. So I thought after having my darshan, leisurely I will come and have my something to eat. So when I was going through, at that time, fortunately or unfortunately, I do not know, because that Pujari was coming out of the shrine. And he saw me. He said, Babaji, sab kuch ready hai. Aap jaakar puja kar lijiye apna se. He said, everything is ready here. You just go and do your puja yourself. That means he is going out. So he went out. So when I entered the shrine, I was stunned to be in a Jyotirlanga, that sanctum sanctorum, Garbhagraham, we say, sanctum sanctorum. And there, all the materials are ready for me. I just, with my heart's content, I did Abhisheka and did my wonderful dhyana. And then it went about 1 to 1.5 to 2 hours, and it was time now for me to go back and I must have my food also. I was hungry. You know, when you go to Shiva temple, it is the customary thing not to eat early. So, Shiva temple, you should go fast. Fasting, you should go. Then only Shiva is pleased with you. If you can fast for him, he is pleased. He doesn't torment us by that telling us to fast. What he is feeling is, if you fast, your mind, instead of going towards your body, gets up at one level. That's why in Ekadashi, etc., people fast. At least once in 15 days, a fortnight, if a person fasts, he understands on that day how the mind goes up, up, up. If you are accustomed to fasting, then you understand better, more clearly. In the initial stages, you may have the pangs of hunger if you fast, but it won't stay all the time. As you practice the fasting, nowadays, of course, for health purpose, they have brought intermittent fasting, which you all must be knowing it, how to keep your body fit. So intermittent fasting is good. Our Swatmaranji does that. He doesn't eat in the night, he doesn't eat in the morning. He takes only Thakur's Prasad fruits at 10 o'clock, and 1 o'clock he eats lunch. That's all. So I just wonder, when I tell him, come with me for some supper someplace, he said, no, I don't eat what I am going to do, he says. So this is in the fasting has become very important in our Hindus' religious life. That apart, though it has got a lot of spiritual meaning also, fasting does not mean merely not eating anything. It is called upavasaha in Sanskrit. In Hindi, we say upavas. Upa means nearby. Vasa means staying, residing, living at. Upavasa means staying near the God. Is called upavasa. So what you do in upavasa, when you are not eating anything, your mind is supposed to think of God. Stay with the God. That is called upavas. So that upavasa is a very important point in our religious life. Now, I thought I had also made fasting on that day. I didn't eat anything. Early morning, 6 o'clock, I left from Pune. About 2 hours bus travel. Then I went there, had my puja, and then come out. Now I felt I should eat something. At that very juncture, when I was sitting on the steps of the temple, on the roadside, one young lady was passing on. Of course, many people are passing on. Why I remember this young lady? Because she talked to me. She was in the traditional Marathi way of wearing the saris that you must have seen in films, etc. So she came there and she stood in front of me and looked at me intently. She asked a question. Babaji, aapne khana khaya? Oh father, have you taken food? I said, no, I haven't taken food. Because that was the correct answer, true answer. I said, no. Then she said, come with me, I will feed you. And she started walking fast. And I was sitting on the steps, I didn't get up. Doubt. You know, the doubt is the biggest Rakshasa. Samshaya Rakshasam. Swamiji says in Jaya Guru Deva Deva, Jaya Guru, that song, that Samshaya Rakshasa, he says. When Samshaya comes, when doubt enters your mind, it becomes a big like Rakshasa. And the doubts can be any time. It can be intellectual, it can be emotional. An intellectual doubt happens when you start learning some subjects. For instance, mathematics, you are teaching me, I am your student. And when you teach me something I cannot understand. So I ask some doubt. That doubt comes from intellect, mind you. But if a man starts doubting his wife's loyalty, that is not from intellect, that is from emotional doubt. It's very difficult to remove the emotional doubt, mind you. Whatever proofs is given, it's not enough. The emotional doubt catches you. That's why Swamiji says, Samshaya Rakshasa. How the Samshaya Rakshasa caught me about the existence of Sri Ramakrishna, that's another story. Let me finish this story first. So, this lady said, come with me, I'll feed you. And I'm sitting there, the doubt entered my mind. What was the doubt? The doubt was, it's a new place for me, and place of pilgrimage does not mean all the people residing there are very good. It doesn't mean. There may be bad people also. And one lady is suddenly calling me, unknown lady, I go behind her, what will happen to me? I don't know. So I had to be careful about that. So whatever things, I thought, let me think over, and thinking again, intellect. Intellect will fail you. It doesn't guarantee you. So I took the emotional route. I prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, and I prayed to Bhima Shankar, please protect me, should I go or not? At that moment, she turned back and looked at me about from here to that side, that wall side, the distance she was standing. She turned there, and still I am sitting. And she got angry, angrily shouted at me, Babaji, utho, utho, aao, jaldi aao, like that she said. So I thought that is the command of Sri Ramakrishna, command of Bhima Shankar. Now he is calling me. So I got up and went behind her. And when up the hill, small hut is there, weaved with that terrace was all made of leaves. So small hut, I can understand what is the level of poverty of this lady who called me. And there, in front of the house, 2 children were playing. I was little solaced. Then she took me inside, washed my feet, made me sit. Even in South Africa, some Hindi-speaking devotees do that. I have been to some of the devotees' homes. They made me sit, made me remove my socks, and then bought a plate, poured water on my feet. And these are all traditional welcome, as we call it. Here, traditional welcome is putting garland on you. But we say traditional welcome is washing the feet of the guest, Atithi. So that was she did. And then she made me sit on the front one portion, said, you please be playing with my children. I'll cook and come. So she has not cooked, mind you. It took about 1.5 hours or so. My hunger increased as the time was going on. And I was how much play with the children? You see, you have to be a child to play with the child. So however I mean, bringing my level to that level, and then I was playing with the jokes and with asking questions, puzzles, etc., over. Then she brought a leaf plate and kept before me and asked me to sit. And she sat in front of me. That was a wonderful moment in my life. As I have seen my own Garbhadharini mother, the mother who gave birth to me, that mother, how does she feed the child when she wants? She sat in front of me, putting hot roti and sabji and dal. Only 3 items. And I was very happy. I ate to my content, and I got up. A thought came to my mind. Such a poor lady with 2 children, husband has gone for work. How much struggle she must be having to meet the 2 ends of life. So I took the 300 rupees. My bus ticket was already booked, return ticket. And this 300 for my food I had kept is no longer necessary. So I thought, let me give her. So I extended my right arm and said, Mother, you have fed me so nicely. Take these 300 rupees. You must see her reaction. She was so humble and so polite with me, suddenly became a Bhadrakali. Her eyes became red. It opened up, reddish eyes. And she looked at me. She said, Babaji, ye kya hotel samjh kar ka? She asked me a stunning question. Do you think, Father, this is a hotel? I fed you and you are giving me money. I was, absolutely nervous. I started shivering. I put my hands together and told, oh, Mother, never think like that. I don't want to upset you in any way, not hurting your feelings. I know this is not a hotel. You lovingly invited me. I was sitting just on the steps of the temple. You only called me. You fed me. So I just thought, considering your poverty, I thought, this money is not anymore required for me. So I wanted to share it with you. For the children at least, why don't you use this? Like that, I gave that. If you don't want, I will not compel you. How did she receive the money, when I was holding the money like the right hand?
Please put your phones off.
Yes, the problem is, we always learn how to start the engine of the car, but you don't know how to put the brake on that. Then how the driving will be, you can understand. It's like with that our cell phones, all the things come up immediately and then you don't know how to put it off. But the lady is very shrewd. She has done it in 3 times. Some place I had seen 15, 16 times it is ringing. And then somebody else has to come and put that telephone off. So that also happens. So she, with that angry face, she did not receive the money by right hand. Our Hindu tradition is anything you give with the right hand and anything you receive with the right hand. She took her left hand, that was stunning to me, and she used these 2 fingers only. Even left hand, all the fingers she did not use. 2 fingers. And as if she's touching something untouchable from the ground, she took these 3 notes from me and like this she took and then threw it like that. And it went and spread on the floor. I was stunned. I said, oh, what a thing I have done. I should not have offered money. You know, naturally, if anybody invites me, suppose tonight I go to somebody's house, because she feeds me, should I pay some money to her? You won't accept that. So that is a tradition. So I violated the tradition, I felt ashamed. And then she started profusely crying and she sat. So I sat next to her now. Now as a father sits with his daughter, it was the different relationship now. So I told my daughter, don't you cry like this. I feel very sad. But if I have really hurt you, I am very, very sorry. What I should do, tell me. Like that I am explaining to her. She said, no, I am not crying for anything that you did. You gave the money, etc. It's nothing for me. Why I am crying is that the grace of my Ishta Devata Bhima Shankar descended upon me today after a lag of 10 days. 10 days, last 10 days, he never sent any guest for me so that I could feed. Every day I fight with my Lord. Hey Bhima Shankar, send someone as a guest to my house. And he sent somebody, he used to send me. For the last 10 days, he has not sent anybody to me. So I was angry. Today morning I went to his temple and shouted at him. And when I came out, I saw he has kept a guest in front of me. That's why I asked you. I did not feed you because you are a monk. I did not feed you, you are just sitting there without eating. I fed you because Bhima Shankar has come in your form to my house and to my Ishta Devata I fed. She said, Atiti Devo Bhava. Now the children in their enactment so very beautifully said, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. Swami Vivekananda added, Daridra Devo Bhava. What a beautiful sentence, Vedic sentences. Atiti Devo Bhava. Who is Atiti? We say in English a guest. The English term guest does not denote the exact meaning of the Atiti. I tell you what is the meaning of Atiti. Tithi means a particularized date, a point in 15 tithis. We have the moon revolves around this earth. It has got 15 days. We say Shukla Paksha and what is the other one? Krishna Paksha. Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha. So when these 2 phases of moons, there every day is called one tithi. So first tithi, second tithi, tritiya tithi, chaturthi tithi we all know very good for Ganesha. Sashti tithi is very good for Murugan's worship. I used to do Kanda Sashti Kavacham on Sashti tithi every day, even now. And like that, Ashtami tithi is very good for Ashtami and Navami, good for Durga Puja, Durga worship. Like that, this is called tithis. A tithi means not particularized date. That means a person comes to your house unannounced. That means no date was fixed, no appointment was given. That person should be considered as an atithi. And he said, see, Bhima Shankar ji used to come to me as atithi. Today, after 10 days gap, I got Bhima Shankar ji coming in your form. The form changes. But you are the person who comes to me. Like that she wept. Then I was so happy with her. You see, in the meantime, while eating, she raised some important questions on spiritual life. She had some doubts, so she wanted to clarification from a sadhu. In India, it is very traditional. If you go to a house for feeding, for eating, then they make you sit and they ask questions, which our Indians have carried on to South Africa also. In South Africa also, when we visit houses, what they do, a small satsang is done. Even though not with the big paraphernalia of singing, etc., just a few words read from the gospel, and the Swami speaks something about 5-10 minutes, and then questions are asked. Like that, we do that. That is a very ancient tradition in India. While feeding me, she asked some important questions to which I answered. All the answers were, she felt, excellent answer for her, which she was searching for all these days. So she asked me, Swamiji, you are so brilliant and you are so learned. I said, no. Have you read Vedas? I said, no. Have you read Gita? Very little. Have you read Upanishads? Somewhere. Very like a goat comes and picks up from this leaf and that leaf like that. Upanishads, I have read that much only. Then how did you answer all my questions so wonderfully? From one source only. And that source is the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. His book I read daily in original Bengali. That is my faith. Every day before going to sleep, 2 pages, please read like that. I tell outside. Should I not follow that? So I also follow 2 pages of the Gospel book I read in my telephone. I have got about 400 books in my telephone. What used to be called iBooks. So I have kept all the books there. Anytime I can read. So every day one must read. And whatever answer I gave you, I got from Ramakrishna's Gospel. She heard the word Ramakrishna and ran immediately into her home, came with a photograph, and in that photograph, Sri Ramakrishna was seated. I was stunned. It is Sri Ramakrishna's place, wherever Sri Ramakrishna resides. And in that place, Sri Ramakrishna made me go with her and eat. And his words were transferred to her. You see, that is how, from my side, I felt Sri Ramakrishna is present with me. He is guiding me. He is taking me care. He fed me on that day. Otherwise, I would have gone to some small vendor and then took some puri or idli, and then after going back, I will be suffering from indigestion. But here, what a wonderful feeling this lady had for a sadhu, and she fed me. So Atiti Deva, from her side, she has fed a guest who was sent by her Ishta Devata. And from my side, my strength of belief in Sri Ramakrishna was multifold, became multifold. So 2 persons interacted with each one's goal being reached by the divine grace. So glory of Sri Ramakrishna is not only merely with the people who read Sri Ramakrishna or who think about Sri Ramakrishna. It is touching the people who are emotionally connected to him. This is what I find in the modern days lack of. That emotional touch with Sri Ramakrishna is not happening. Emotional touch with Ishta Devata. You know, I have spoken here many times. Almost every month I used to come here. And Sister Ishta Prana Mataji was so kind to accommodate me in one satsang every month. And when I was coming down below, I saw the women devotees of Sri Ramakrishna photographs. Here only first time I gave talks on women devotees of Sri Ramakrishna. So they were all, many people have used to come here. The hall would be full. I think after the COVID effect, I think today the hall is not so much full. Yes, they must be listening to the online course. Now, you see, this feeling of connection with the your Ishta Devata is lacking in the modern days. So wherever I go, wherever I meet, I want to stress upon this fact that to please select any type of relationship with your Ishta Devata and make it a workable to you only. You don't need to go to some people come with their metric call sheet and say, Maharaj, please bless this so that my son can write the examination well. Why not your son can directly ask his Ishta Devata? Because no emotional connection. If you have got any problem in your life, what you should do? You can definitely come for counsel with the sister or with the monks anywhere. That is okay. I am not telling no. But why not you yourself try and meet your Ishta Devata in your innermost core of your heart? Is it possible for us? Yes. Everyone it is possible. In that case, you don't tell your things outside. And you think you are going for a counseling, you become all right. No. Counseling also have left many people completely confused. That also I have seen. In this country also I have seen. So don't think counseling can be a all-round solution to your life's problems. Life's problems can be, that knot of life problem can be removed only by your closest connection. Where is he? He is in your innermost heart. Antaryami, we say during the Arati song, Antaryami. He is innermost in us. So why he is the nearest point of touch. And leaving him, you are searching outside. Dub 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 re mano man. That song is their Bengali song. That poet says, go deep into your mind. And there only you will find him. And he is ready to show himself. And he will talk to you, he will speak to you, he will be acting with you, he will be moving with you. So wherever you go, you can feel the presence of God with you. This comes only with the emotional connection. That emotional connection we have to stress upon. And that is what I thought today I will speak to you about the glory of Sri Ramakrishna lies in our getting this emotional connection with him. Other glories you can enumerate. You can go by one point to another point. Hundreds of glories you can enumerate. Let their glories be there. I don't deny them. They also glory, no doubt. But to my simple and little known mind, I feel that connection with Ramakrishna is essential. And I do practice that in Yelagiri. So whoever comes to Yelagiri finds the presence of Sri Ramakrishna in the temple. Because you have the presence feeling. And when you sit there, you think that Sri Ramakrishna is with you. And then in that way, whoever comes there, they get adapted to that environment. That's why temples gain importance, When you go to any temple of the South Indian temples or North Indian temples, wherever in India or in South Africa also, as only the idol is there. That is only made of stone or wood or whatever it is. But when you have emotional connection with that deity, the power starts coming up. The deity itself gains power by the presence of the devotees. Why? The devotees can get connected to the deities, tanmatra, we call it. In Vedanta, there is a beautiful term comes tanmatra. How do we all mentally connected? How do I transfer my thoughts to you? You transfer your thoughts to me. How do we transfer our thoughts to our children in some other countries, in some other long distant place? How do you transfer thoughts? It is only because of the tanmatras. Tanmatra is a very good term in Vedanta. You can read a bit about it in Google. And of course, Mother is there to teach you. This tanmatra of the deity flashes upon your tanmatra. As an individual soul, I have my own tanmatra moving here, round like that. That's why you find in that icons in WhatsApp, you find that. Many people send me that. So I take it as a tanmatra that's going round and round and round. So deity has behind his head that halo, that is tanmatra. When you connect to him emotionally, the tanmatras are connected and he speaks to you. He comes to you. That is what Kali did to Sri Ramakrishna. It is not a mere thing, in the steps of Dakshineswar temple, he used to hold her hands and joyously dancing with her, go up the steps. So we see that, we hear about that. So this Tanmatra connection is what important for us. So that's how this beautiful time, morning time, I could spend with all of you. I feel grateful to Sister Ishtaprana Mataji for giving me an opportunity to come here. Otherwise, nobody knew that I'm coming here, Perhaps many have not heard about that because it was decided only one day before. Only that night it was decided that I should come here, and it was Mother's grace that Holy Mother, brought me here. Otherwise, she would have been unhappy, Whether I am unhappy or not, she would have been unhappy. Oh, you did not come to my place, she would have asked me. So she who brought us here, and so happy to meet all of you here. So with praying to her to bestow her choicest grace upon all of you, I take leave of you. From here I go to Johannesburg. From there I come down by car to northern Natal. After that I come back again to Durban. So 7th and 8th I will be in Durban only, and free time I have kept. If any of you want to come and meet me, you are free to come and meet me. And then also on 9th I am leaving for Cape Town, and 10th I am leaving for India via Dubai. Dubai, of course, 2 satsangs are kept, one at Dubai and one at Abu Dhabi. Those satsangs groups, came up, and they feel because of me. In 2007, when I came to South Africa, while going back, we started a Pata Chakra, a study circle. So that study circle is growing up very nicely. So all the devotees want me to stay there for 2 days. After that, I returned to India. This visit, coming after 8 years, is a very memorable visit for me on a particular occasion of 80th anniversary of our Durban Center, 125th anniversary of the Ramakrishna Mission founding day, and also, what is the other thing? Third.
25th anniversary,
187th birth anniversary of Sri Ramakrishna. So all the three have conjoined together. It gives me great pleasure to be with all of you. Thank you very much. Jai Ramakrishna. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Page 29.
आज ये शुभो दिन मिलिए बखत जन, आज ये शुभो दिन मिलिए बखत जन, आज ये शुभो दिन मिलिए बखत जन, आज ये शुभो दिन मिलिए बखत जन। गाहो गाहो नमो कृष्ण राम, गाओ गाओ नमो कृष्ण राम, गाहो रे जयो जयो रामो कृष्ण राम, गाओ रे जयो जयो राम कृष्ण राम, गाहो रे जयो जयो रामो कृष्ण राम, गाओ रे जयो जयो राम कृष्ण राम। रामो कृष्ण नाम में रामो कृष्ण प्रेम में, राम कृष्ण नाम में राम कृष्ण प्रेम में, मतिया उठुक धर धाम, मतिया उठुक धर धाम, गाहो रे जयो जयो रामो कृष्ण नाम, गाओ रे जयो जयो राम कृष्ण नाम। आज ये शुभो दिन मिलिए बखत जन, आज ये शुभो दिन मिलिए बखत जन। गाहो गाहो राम कृष्ण राम, गाओ गाओ राम कृष्ण राम, गाहो रे जयो जयो रामो कृष्ण राम, गाओ रे जयो जयो राम कृष्ण राम। हरे भूभान रो अवतार, आजिए शुभो दिन मिलिए भगत जन गाहो गाहो राम कृष्ण नाम गाओ गाओ राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाओ रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम जय राम से कृष्ण विश्व गुरु राम कृष्ण जय राम से कृष्ण विश्व गुरु राम कृष्ण एक हरे श्याम शिव श्याम एक हरे श्याम शिव श्याम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम आज ये शुभो दिन मिलिए भगत जन आज ये शुभो दिन मिलिए भगत जन गाहो गाहो राम कृष्ण नाम गाओ गाओ राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाओ रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम जय राम से कृष्ण विश्व गुरु राम कृष्ण जय राम से कृष्ण विश्व गुरु राम कृष्ण एक हरे श्याम शिव श्याम एक हरे श्याम शिव श्याम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाओ रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाओ रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय
Page 30, Shirley will sing Jivana Prabhate.
जीवन प्रभाते वर मेरा साते बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे
जीवन प्रभाते वर मेरा साथे बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे
जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे बोलो जय राम राम कृष्ण नाम बोले मन वीराम
राम कृष्ण नाम बोल रे मन वीरा
शीतल होवे सब ज्वाल रे
शीतल होवे सब ज्वाले
जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साते बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे
जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथी बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे
राम कृष्ण जय बोले मनिराश्रय
राम कृष्ण जय बोल रे मनिराश्रय
शांत होवे मन प्राण रे
शांत होवे मन प्राण
जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे
जीवन प्रभाते मर मेर साथी बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे
बोलो राम कृष्ण जपो राम कृष्ण
बोलो राम कृष्ण जपो राम कृष्ण
भज मन राम कृष्ण रे
भज मन राम कृष्ण रे
जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे
जीवन प्रभाते मर मेर साथी बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे
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 ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय
Om Namo Narayanaya. We offer our heartfelt thanks to revered Swami Vimokshanandaji Maharaj for his enriching message, which filled our hearts with love and devotion to Sri Ramakrishna. Worship of God can be performed in a myriad ways. The ancient form of dance, which is an art that can be traced to performances in temples, has inspired devotees for millennia. The young ladies of the ashram will now present a dance in honor of the Divine Mother, whom Sri Ramakrishna worshipped with deep devotion. We present the young ladies of the ashram.
सबसे बड़ा तेरा नाम, शेरों वाली ऊंचे डेरों वाली, बिगड़े बना दे मेरे काम नाम रे।
हे नाम रे, सबसे बड़ा तेरा नाम, ओ शेरों वाली ऊंचे डेरों वाली, बिगड़े बना दे मेरे काम नाम रे।
नाम रे, सबसे बड़ा तेरा नाम, ओ शेरों वाली ऊंचे डेरों वाली, बिगड़े बना दे मेरे काम नाम रे। ऐसा कठिन पल, ऐसी घड़ी है, विपदा आन पड़ी है।
तू ही दिखा अब रास्ता, ये दुनिया रस्तारों पे खड़ी है।
मेरा जीवन बना एक संग्राम, शेरों वाली ऊंचे डेरों वाली, बिगड़े बना दे मेरे काम नाम रे। नाम रे, सबसे बड़ा तेरा नाम, ओ शेरों वाली ऊंचे डेरों वाली, बिगड़े बना दे मेरे काम नाम रे।
Om, page 93. મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોજ શ્રીરન ચોદ હોદા ખુરવાસી અમારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોજ શ્રીરણ છોડ હોડા પુરવાસી મારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોજ શ્રીરન ચોદ હોદા ખુરવાસી મારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોડ શ્રીરણ છોડ હોડા પુરવાસી મારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
તારા દર્શન કરવા ખાજ રે મારું હૈયું વલકે આજ રે
તારા દર્શન કરવા કાજ રે મારું હૈયો બલકે આજ રે તું સાંભળ સાંભળ રણછોડ જગના સ્વામી મારી આરજુ અંતરયામી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોજ શ્રીરન ચોદ ખોદા ખુરવાસી મારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોડ શ્રીરણ છોડ હોડા પુરવાસી મારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
મારી આરતી અંતર દરજો રે મારી આશા પૂરન કરજો રે
મારી આરતી અંતર ધરજો રે મારી આશા પૂરણ કરજો રે તું સાંભળ સાંભળ રણછોડ જગના સ્વામી મારી સહાય કરો અવિનાશી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોજ શ્રીરન ચોદ હોદા ખુરવાસી મારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોડ શ્રીરણ છોડ હોડા પુરવાસી મારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
મને કજ તારો ભાસ રે હું તો બન્યો તમારો દાસ રે
મને એક જ તારો ભાસ રે હું તો બન્યો તમારો દાસ રે તું સાંભળ સાંભળ રણછોડ જગના સ્વામી પ્રભુ મારી કરો રખવાળી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોજ શ્રીરન ચોદ હોદા ખુરવાસી મારી અખિયા દર્શન પ્યાસી
મને લાગ્યો તમારો ખોડ શ્રીરણ છોડ હોડા પુરવાસી मारी अखियाँ दर्शन प्यासी
हो राम तेरे नाम पर दीवाना बन गया, हो परवाना बन गया।
हो राम तेरे नाम पर दीवाना बन गया, हो परवाना बन गया।
दीवाना बन गया रे, परवाना बन गया रे।
दीवाना बन गया रे, परवाना बन गया रे।
हो दीवाना बन गया रे,
हो दीवाना बन गया रे।
हो परवाना बन गया रे।
हो परवाना बन गया रे।
हो राम तेरे नाम पर दीवाना बन गया, हो परवाना बन गया।
हो राम तेरे नाम पर दीवाना बन गया, हो परवाना बन गया।
हो रन जो जराया मन लागी तुम्हारी माया, हो मन लागी तुम्हारी माया।
हो रन छोड़ाया मन लागी तुम्हारी माया, हो मन लागी तुम्हारी माया।
हो रन छोड़ रंगी मर जन्मो जन्म ना संगी, हो मर जन्मो जन्म ना संगी।
हो रण चोर रंगी मारा जन्मो जन्म ना संगी, हो मारा जन्मो जन्म ना संगी।
हो रन चोर रसिया मर हृदय कमर मावसिया, हो मर हृदय कमर मावसिया।
हो रण चोर रसिया मारा हृदय कमर मावसिया, हो मारा हृदय कमर मावसिया।
हो मर हृदय कमर मावसिया,
हो मारा हृदय कमर मावसिया।
हो मर हृदय कमर मावसिया।
हो मारा हृदय कमर मावसिया।
हो मर हृदय कमर मावसिया।
हो मारा हृदय कमर मावसिया। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
Dear sisters and brothers, we will all sing the last song together. Our most famous Ramakrishna Sharanam, page 26. We'll all sing together.
राम कृष्ण शरणम राम कृष्ण शरणम राम कृष्ण शरणम शरण्ये राम कृष्ण शरणम राम कृष्ण शरणम राम कृष्ण शरणम शरण्ये प्रभु कृपा ही केवलम कृपा ही केवलम कृपा ही केवलम शरण शरणागतोऽहं शरण्ये जय राम कृष्ण जय राम कृष्ण जय राम कृष्ण जय 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 राम कृष्ण जय राम कृष्ण जय राम कृष्ण जय जय राम कृष्ण शरणं राम कृष्ण शरणं राम कृष्ण शरणं शरण्ये राम कृष्ण शरणं राम कृष्ण शरणं राम कृष्ण शरणं शरण्ये प्रभु कृपा हि केवलं कृपा हि केवलं कृपा हि केवलं शरण्ये प्रभु कृपा हि केवलं कृपा हि केवलं कृपा हि केवलं शरण्ये नमः श्री गुरवे नमः श्री गुरवे नमः श्री गुरवे नमो नमः नमः श्री गुरवे नमः श्री गुरवे नमः श्री गुरवे नमो नमः नमो नारायण नमो नारायण नमो नारायण शरण्ये नमो नारायण नमो नारायण नमो नारायण शरण्ये तव शरणागतोऽहं 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 शरण्ये तव शरणागतोऽहं 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 शरण्ये जय राम कृष्ण जय राम कृष्ण जय राम कृष्ण जय 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 राम कृष्ण जय राम कृष्ण जय राम कृष्ण जय जय राम कृष्ण शरणं राम कृष्ण शरणं राम कृष्ण शरणं शरण्ये ॐ श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय.
Dear sisters and brothers, we shall read the meaning of 2 or 3 verses from Sri Ramakrishna Suprabhatam when we ask the Lord to bless us in the morning. So we'll read the meaning, and please, as we meditate for a few moments, you can visualize whichever deity you worship and feel the love and blessings of the devotee of the Ishta Devata seated in your heart. Saluting your lotus feet in the morning easily removes the miseries of the world. Knowing this, the devotees devotionally take refuge at your feet. O Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, I adore